I want to play you a scene from a movie, but before I do, I want you to understand why it affected me so deeply. In order to do that, I need to tell you about the movie that surrounds the scene, a movie I watched the other day. A boy and a woman, 15 and 27, whose lives begin to revolve around their public meetings at their sacred Garden of Words. Garden of Words follows a 15-year-old boy and a 27-year-old woman, the two of them incidentally meeting under a gazebo at a public park on a rainy morning, both seemingly skipping out on school and work respectively. They share some pleasant small talk, then go their separate ways. The next time it's raining again, they incidentally run into each other again. These incidental meetings continue to happen on rainy mornings, unspokenly transitioning from being incidental to intentional. As the story goes on, we learn more and more about the boy. He's a high school student called Takao, who goes to school late on rainy mornings. He has a passion for shoemaking, but is surrounded by people who don't believe in him. This leads him to viewing school as a prison, caging him in with children, chaining him back from being the adult he wants to be, living his own life with his own choices and own destiny. As we learn all this and more about Takao, we learn next to nothing about the woman, not her job, her age, or even her name. For over half the movie, she remains an enigma, a listener rather than a talker, until suddenly we get a reveal that she's a teacher at Takao's school, a victim of widespread false rumors, most likely of impropriety with male students, rumors that led to her relationship falling apart and her falling into depression, electing to drink beer and eat chocolate at a park on rainy mornings, and eventually quitting her job toward the end of the movie. She became a person whose life stopped at 27, no longer walking on her own 2 feet. After learning that she's a teacher at his school, Takao confronts her at their garden on a sunny day, a confrontation that's interrupted when it suddenly turns to rain. Soaked in water, the two of them go to Yukino's apartment to dry off, where Takao cooks a meal for them, and they both realize that this might be the happiest moment of their lives. However, Takao then takes it a step too far, quietly stating that he thinks he's fallen in love with her. Yukino's eyes light up for a brief moment before the reality of the situation kicks in. This is a 15-year-old boy that just confessed his love to his 27-year-old teacher, and it's because of her own passivity in allowing this relationship to foster when she should have taken proactive action to prevent it from ever getting to this point. By being an object of emotional investment, she passively fostered inappropriate feelings in this child, a scenario that is far too similar to the false rumors that had led to her life coming to a halt. In response to this confession, Yukino makes things clear.
Not Yukino, Miss Yukino.
Clearly upset, Takao leaves her apartment promptly, and after some time to reflect on their interactions, Yukino impulsively chases after him, stumbling down the wet concrete staircase, eventually finding him having taken a pause to contemplate things while staring into the rainy city. And so begins the scene I want to show you. So let's start with the first half.
Yukino, I want you to forget what I told you earlier. I couldn't love someone like you. I hate you. I thought it the second I saw you. In the park. You were just poison. Drinking beer in the morning, quoting some stupid Tonka to me. You! Listening to other people talking all day! Just so you never have to reveal a thing about yourself! You knew who I was was just a kid! What were you thinking? What's wrong with you? If I'd known you were a teacher, I would never have told you anything about me or my dreams. You don't think I can do it? You don't really think I'll ever amount to anything? What, is that why you didn't say anything to me? You thought maybe you'd humor the little kid? Indulge his fantasies for a little while, just string him along? Go on, say it! I'll never measure up to my dreams! You knew from the beginning! You could have just admitted it! But you played along. So tell me, goddammit! Tell me that little kids should run along to school! Tell me that you hate me! Say it! Come on, listener, say something for a change! You loser! It's because you act like that! You never say what's important! You pretend it's none of your business! You've been living your whole life alone!
Takao's perspective is a boy who was hurt by someone he'd opened up to. He's lashing out because he feels like he was discarded by the person he thought loved him back. However, deep down, he knows that their connection was indeed genuine. Lashing out by trying to hurt her feelings is a defense mechanism, stemming from the fact that he thinks it would be easier to hate her than to revert to the feeling of loneliness he had before he met her. It's a very grounded human outburst, and I find it very affecting. However, the true impact of these words lies beyond Takao's perspective. While he may not truly mean the words he is speaking in this moment, to the audience some do land true. What was Yukino thinking spending so much time with this kid, letting him get so invested in their relationship, seeing her as the one person whom he can express his true hopes and dreams to? Surely she should have known that it would groom feelings of love within him. It was irresponsible, immature, and was bound to lead to something like this. We know she's a nice person, but this entire situation truly is her fault. The way Takao put it is overly harsh, but taking a step back, you could easily perceive her life as quite pathetic. Drinking beer and eating chocolate with a 15-year-old kid from her school in a park on rainy mornings. Outside of this, living her whole life alone. As the audience, we can acknowledge that things could be perceived this way, but Yukino truly feels that this is her reality. She's hearing all the things she's believed about herself being yelled at her by the person that made all those feelings go away, made her feel the happiest she's ever felt in her life. It's heartbreaking to watch, and it breaks her down, leading to her response.
No, every morning I put on my suit to go to school, but I was scared. I'm just gonna go back there. But then you came and you saved me. Oh my god. Oh my god, you saved me.
This is the real emotional climax of the movie. It's short, it's simple, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. There's a lot of elements that contribute to this, but the age difference is the key to it all. Throughout the movie, Takao sees adulthood as a destination to arrive at, a point in his life where he'll finally be free of all his troubles and be above the children that he's constantly surrounded with in his current life. Throughout the movie, Yukino represents this ideal. From Takao's perspective, she has her life together. She's an adult with a job who eats and drinks what she wants, with even the freedom to skip work when it suits her. She's incredibly mature, treats him with respect, truly listens to him unlike the other children around him, and doesn't laugh at his dreams. This perspective of Yukino as the realization of Takao's ideal of adulthood begins to fray once he learns about her true history. She is indeed an adult, but she still has struggles, and her life remains chained by the influence of the people around her. But it's only after this confession scene that Takao's adulthood ideal is completely shattered, and the universality of struggles, vulnerabilities, and insecurities is laid bare through Yukino's simple yet profoundly affecting confession. It's a moment of extreme vulnerability, where she's confessing a seemingly superficial struggle of dressing up every morning fully intending to go to work, only to inevitably lose the courage as actually going to work becomes more and more real, a struggle that an external observer would view as entirely trivial, but to her is an embarrassing, depressing mark of shame that she's fully aware of and kept entirely to herself this entire time. Sharing this with Takao is a testament to how much she values him as a person she can tell these things to. Not a child who she looks down on, but an equal who she knows will truly hear her and understand her perspective. And through fantastic voice acting, we watch her struggle to find the right words to express such a profound feeling, eventually arriving at exclaiming the simple truth that he saved her. My God, he saved her. This is an impressively simple scene for the amount of emotion it packs into it. A short confession about something mundane and 3 simple words that are delivered with extreme sincerity. It also manages to neatly wrap up the thematic core of the movie. Yukino's almost childlike confession brings the adult in this scene down to the child's level, demonstrating that adulthood is not a destination where you stop sweating the small things and feel like you have a clear path in life, but rather life from childhood to adulthood to retirement and beyond is a journey, where 2 lone souls at different points in that journey may find themselves with similar struggles in the same garden on a rainy morning.